Hey there, you're listening to BD4, where there's no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. Yanks every series, Knicks every game, and MMA on occasion. Here's your host, RJ Carbone.
And a high drive into left center field. Stanley's going to watch another one fly. Are you kidding me? DiVincenzo a three. Bang! Bang! Knicks take a
Take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
At the wall. See ya! See ya! See ya! Mr. Nova.
Anthony for three. Bang! That one goes down and the game is tied.
Rose, you shook up the world again.
I did it again. But God did it, man. I really just had
Gonna have to. Brunson running away. Oh my! He has been the best player to put on that uniform.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Okay. Well, another win, folks. Another win on the schedule. That is now 9 wins in a row for your 2024-2025. Happy New Year. New York Knicks. 9 wins in a row. That means they're 9-0 in their last 9 games, folks. That's, I think, tied for their longest streak since the 2013-12 team. I think last year they tied that. 19-4 in their last 23 games. So that's fun. Starting the season 5-6. Everybody, myself included, probably leading the way, flipping out. 19-4 in their last 23. 24-10 overall, which has this Knicks team on a 58-win pace. They're just a half game out of second place from Boston. They're now 4.5 up over the 4th place Orlando Magic, who they're going to see once more this month. So overall, the Knicks have the 4th best record in the NBA and the 4th best net rating now. They've jumped to 4th over Memphis in net rating. So it's been a fun stretch of games. They finally found their balance. They figured this out. And of course, we'll talk about what really we need to see this month against tougher competition. But last night was a good 119-103 win over the Jazz at Madison Square Garden. I will preface by saying, obviously, as you can tell by now, if you usually watch on YouTube, this is an audio-only episode, so only audio will be up on there, as well as the other platforms. I don't know, this was a boring game against the Jazz. There was no Brunson, so I couldn't get into it. But the Knicks did their job. They took this game over, I would say, mid-second quarter. Campaign facilitating. Towns got hot late in the first half. Josh Hart got his first couple points on the board there late in the second quarter. Third quarter, it was mostly Knicks. The Jazz did go on a little bit of a run late in the period to pull within, 5 points, give or take? But the Knick Wings put an end to that in response to wrap up the third quarter strong, and then the fourth quarter was all Knicks. So once again, they'd win 119-103. Another strong defensive performance as the Knicks continue to get better and better there. They're 13th overall in defense, 6th in defense in their last 18 games. So that's over half the season. Their offense obviously remains top-notch by the numbers. They are 2nd overall. Been sitting there all year. So it was a solid win. Campaign, filling in for Jalen Brunson as the starting point guard with Deuce McBride, a late scratch. Brunson sits with a calf injury. Hopefully he's back tomorrow, or else the Knicks are probably toast. But Campaign goes out there, 8 points, 9 assists, 3 steals. It was him, Kolek, but mostly Josh Hart running point guard duties. Second unit was solid, very solid. Kolek, Precious, Cam, all of them gave good minutes. Go back to the starting unit. OG Anunoby finding it again lately. 22 more points last night. Mikal Bridges, 27 efficient points. Josh Hart, another triple-double, because of course. Karl Towns, another 30-point double-double, because of course. That's where I want to start. Towns last night gets his 8th game ball of the year. I thought he was the best Knick on the floor. 31 points, 21 rebounds. And on top of that, he had 4 assists, a steal, a block. 10 for 20 from the floor, 3 of 6 from 3. 8 of 9 at the foul line. Just dominating. Again, he does this thing where it seems like it's a quiet game, but he starts settling in as the game progresses, and you're like, wow, quiet dominance. Just so important for this team. You know, it's going to be a quicker episode, folks. Less detail on this one, just because, again, it's Knicks Jazz without Brunson, and I'm kind of tired of playing these shit teams, so I don't really want to talk much about this matchup, but we'll be back in full force against OKC tomorrow night. But no, Towns was great. You know, just even when he's not, like, yes, it's the buckets, but the one word we continue to use, Towns' most effectiveness comes simply just standing out there on the floor. You know, gravity. That's the one word we continue to use to describe Towns. His gravity makes everybody else better. How many times this season where he's on the post and he draws help to open up the weak side, to open up the paint, to open up a cut for somebody else? You saw that last night, right? A couple times in the fourth quarter. You know, you had a possession early fourth quarter. Josh Hart's got ball at the top of the key. Cat's one pass over on the right wing. OG's one pass away on the left wing. Cat relocates to the second side as Josh Hart passes it over to OG. OG makes an entry to Cat on the mid post. So he dumps down the ball to Cat. Josh Hart sets a quick flare screen for OG to cut into an open paint. Now Cat passes it to OG for an easy 2 points, and that's because Cat's gravity on the post clears the big of the paint. Late in the fourth quarter, he opens up the weak side where you got Mikal Bridges spotting up on the weak side. Cat's posting a small on the strong side block. Hart's got the ball on the elbow 3. And with Cat posting a mismatch, Colin Sexton brings weak side help off of Mikal on that second side wing. And so Josh Hart, instead of making the entry, makes a skip pass to Mikal for a wing 3. So Cat posting a small there on the strong side draws that weak side rotation. And it's just things like that that continue to make this Knicks team better. So it's not just Brunson who's better with Towns on the floor, but it's Josh Hart. It's Mikal Bridges. Those guys are thriving, benefiting from Karl-Anthony Towns' gravity, his shooting gravity, his post gravity. So Karl-Anthony Towns, his 8th game ball last night, continues to dominate. I mean, how many 30-point, 15-plus double-doubles has this guy had this year? What else do we got? I thought the Wingstop trio for the Knicks was very exceptional last night. You know, That's for those who don't know, I don't know where you've been. The Knick Wingstop trio was Hart, McHale, and OG. They combined for 64 points on 45 shots, and they shot 62% together. OG goes for 22 on 10 for 16. McHale 1 for 27 on 12 of 17. And Josh Hart with 15, 14, and 12 last night. Ran some offense for the Knicks. Some good, some bad, but was very good overall. Defensively, though, was where that Wingstop trio was phenomenal. 8 stocks combined between the three of them. But, without Jalen Brunson out there, the Knicks were going to have to get their offense in different ways. Usually with Brunson on the floor, they play a very slow, very methodical pace. It's a half-court game. But without him out the floor, the Knicks were able to run and lead defense into offense, and that's exactly what they did last night. 34 fast break points. They were plus 19 there. I thought OG Anunoby did an exceptional job getting the Knicks out in transition. He locked up Lauri Markkanen very well last night. Lauri had 16 points on 22 shots, 27%. I thought OG was contesting, blocking shots on the perimeter, blocked a shot on Lauri at the basket. He was staying attached off screens. I thought he just did a very good job recovering, closing out to him. Did a nice job on the Utah wings and guards when he went to them. He was exceptional in help. He was very good in one-on-one. Did a nice job gambling while at the same time maintaining position and being able to stay in front. But overall, the Knick wings did a really good job providing offense off of defense, and it extended beyond the wings. The second unit, I thought, was very productive in that area. Defense leading to offense, right? Cam Payne, who, again, got the start in this game, he's a little wild offensively. When you get into the half court, he's running around, flying over. He's got a quick trigger, but I thought he did a really good job, especially early in the game, setting the tone defensively. Late first quarter a couple of times. He fights over a Walker Kessler screen on this one possession, stays attached to Clarkson, and he pokes a ball loose, which leads to a Knick transition basket. The next time down, there's a possession where OG gets caught on an off screen. Cam stunts to Lowry, who was OG's assignment, and he pokes the ball loose again. And again, it leads to another transition basket. I think it was Cam to McHale on the break. So, defense leading to offense. Landry Shamet, really good in the minutes that he did play last night. In the first half, he was exceptional defensively. He was very aggressive, using his size and wingspan. He's very pesky and feisty out there. And he'll give you some occasional shot making. I was really impressed when we're going to the bench with Tyler Kolek. I was trying to decide who I wanted to give the game ball to. I think I'm going to give it to Tyler Kolek. As a matter of fact, yeah, you know what? Let's give it to Tyler Kolek among the bench players. I thought he was the best. I was going to go Precious, but Precious was good. 12 points, a block, a steal, 5 for 8, 1 of 1, plus 15. He was good. Knocked down a corner ball. Those left corners he's been knocking down. That's something I'm keeping my eye on because you never know. You've seen a lot of bigs develop a three-point game late in their careers. We'll see. I thought Precious did very well given the size disadvantage, but that's where I want to go to Kolek. Because I thought he had a better... Yeah, I thought Precious struggled defensively a little bit, but I thought Kolek was definitely the best Knick off the bench last night. He's starting to impress me, man. This is a kid who yesterday played, 40 minutes with Westchester, just hours prior to this game. And then he's called up to play some point guard for the Knicks against the Jazz here. And I've always liked the things that Kolek can do He can shoot a little bit. His pick and roll reads are very solid. Last night he was operating some pick and roll with Towns, with Precious. He can snake. Early in the early in the second quarter, he runs a screen and roll with Precious. He snakes the screen, crosses to his left on Walker Kessler, and then he scores off of a Precious rescreen at the basket with his left hand. Displaying some really, really good passing last night. He makes a weak side assist to Precious on that corner ball off an empty side ball screen with Cat. He has a nice pocket pass to Mikhail as a trailer when them two are going downhill in transition together. Made an impressive half-court assist from under the basket to the top of the key where Josh Hart was. I like the passing wits from this kid, man. Now, I'm trying not to get too excited because, Tibbs is going to Tib. So, once Brunson does return, and hopefully that's tomorrow, you're not going to see Tyler Kolek out there. I don't expect Tibbs to expand this to 9, to expand it to 10. Like, he's going to keep it at 8.5, right? We were all doing the same thing during that little Huckamania stretch earlier in the year when Huck Porty got some minutes. He's back to, watch him from the bench. And Kolek, just like Huck, is a rookie. Okay, so Tibbs is going to trust his starters. He's going to trust his veterans. Kolek's a rookie who's not going to see many minutes once Brunson gets back. That's just the way it is. It's nice to see him do what he did last night. I think he's got a future as a rotation player at the very least. But he's a rookie. His defense definitely needs some work. If you're playing some actual competition, you've seen it where Kolek gets beat on those back cuts. But, and he's a point guard. So, Brunson's the Knick point guard. He's not going to see minutes on this team a lot. I don't know what his future's going to look like, but again, he'll be solid somewhere. So I thought he was the best Knick off the bench. And I think that's it. Again, not much. His game against the Jazz, I think the reason that I'm not going crazy tonight after they won their ninth game in a row, which is their tie for their longest in over a decade, it's just because it's not as loud because we have some championship expectations now, and you get a little fatigue after a month plus of playing these mostly lower tier competition teams. But now you've got OKC up next on the schedule. And these are games that I'm going to be into. You're playing OKC twice in the next couple weeks. Tomorrow, and then I think next Friday as well. So OKC tomorrow. I believe it's in Oklahoma City. So show me. If you're the Knicks, show me. Show me what you got here. This is an opportunity for the Knicks to really show us what they can do when they're matched up with other teams that have the same championship expectations. So, I think OKC is a very well-rounded team. I think they obviously have really good half-court defense. They're a long team, ton of wingspan. They've got athleticism, so they're going to switch a lot tomorrow night. I think they're very high switching defense. How do the Knicks respond to that? We've talked about that plenty here on the show this year. Offensively, they are a very good offense. Hartenstein, we know him as a really good passing big. Obviously, SGA. The one thing they don't do is shoot the three well. And the Knicks give up a ton of three-point looks just by scheme alone. And OKC does get a lot of threes off. So that's something to keep an eye on, the three-point ball, with the Knicks drop coverage and how they don't really stay home, but they'll overhelp in the paint on, off the ball. Interested to see what that looks like. But that's next. Tomorrow night you got the OKC game. I think that's a later start game since it's in Oklahoma City. Let me check real quick. Yeah, it's an 8 p.m. game tomorrow night in OKC. So, with that said, we're going to head to a break. And then we will get back. And when we get back, we will wrap this up with our trivia question. And that will be that. Folks, stay with us. Be back in a minute. BD4 is available on social media for those who want to follow. You can find BD4 on Instagram at BD4Pod. You can find us on X at BD4Pod. And you can find us on Facebook by simply searching BD4. Hey guys, just a quick reminder, this podcast is also available in video format on YouTube. So be sure to go over to the YouTube channel, BD4, subscribe, like the videos, comment, and tell me how much I suck or maybe how much you like the video. We'd very much appreciate it. Don't have time to sit down and watch a video? You can listen to BD4 on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And you can also watch the video format on Spotify too. If you feel like supporting the podcast, you can Venmo at Robert-Carbone-JR-28. We really appreciate your support. Do you enjoy Yankees baseball but are tired of hearing me yap? I have a suggestion for you. Go check out Yankee Crazy Podcast. Greg Gill is a Yankees podcaster on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and he's now selling merch. Go to yankeecrazy.myshopify.com. Stay connected with us. Visit BD4blog.com to explore our blog, tune into our latest podcasts, and follow us on social media. Thank you for being a part of this community. Okay, welcome back to the show. Let's wrap this one up. Let's get to our trivia question here. And our trivia question for this episode 771 here. Happy New Year. Our trivia question, when was the last time a Knick recorded multiple 30-point, 20-rebound games in a season before Karl-Anthony Towns? All right. Your hint, it was Patrick Ewing. All right, so when was the last time a Knick recorded multiple 30-point, 20-rebound games in a season before Karl Towns? And your hint is that it was Patrick Ewing. So when was that? All right, give me the year. And with that said, that's all we got for this show. So I appreciate you all tuning in. Again, a quick, brief episode, audio only, not much detail, not breaking down many things in this one, just because it was Knicks Jazz. I wasn't into it. There was no Brunson. And hopefully now with a much tougher schedule in January, we can get back to some exciting things to talk about. But these last couple games really just took the air out of it for me. I'm not going to lie. Nice to be on a 9-game win streak. Stack wins. Stack wins whenever you can. Get breaks in the schedule, right? So this Knicks team is really good. But the next step is telling, are they championship worthy? So we'll see. Thanks, everybody. See you soon. Well, if you made it this far, that means you listened to or watched the entire episode. Thank you. Just remember to follow, subscribe, download, rate and review, and all that fun stuff to help out the podcast. And I will see you in the next episode of BD4.